And of course, investors around the world are keeping a close eye on the referendum, Korea being no exception. For more on how the decision could affect the Korean economy, we turn to Hwang Ji-hye.
If Britain decides to leave the EU, analysts forecast a massive capital outflow from Korea, which does not hold a key currency and is seen more as an emerging economy, especially when events of global financial uncertainty arise. They say a Brexit would trigger a flight to safe assets like the US dollar, the Japanese yen, or gold.
There's about $31 billion worth of British investment in Korea's stock market, so if we see a Brexit, a huge chunk of that capital will flow back out to the UK.
That $31 billion represents nearly 10% of all the foreign capital in Korea's securities market and is the second largest overall. And we've already seen how local shares might react to a possible Brexit, with Korea's benchmark Kospi dropping for 6 straight days from the 9th to the 16th. The index erased some $40 billion in market cap. From a trading perspective, however, the impact is likely to be limited. Korea's exports to the UK take up a mere 1.5% of all outbound shipments. If the Leave side wins, Britain will have a 2-year negotiation period with the EU about the terms of its departure. And experts say the transition would act as a grace period for Korea, which would have to set new terms with the UK because the free trade deal with the EU would no longer be valid. What is crucial, though, is for Korea to cement a new deal within that period.
If Korea fails to secure a new free trade deal with the UK before the 2-year negotiation period, there's the possibility of Korea's products losing price competitiveness because of import duties.
Experts add that concluding those talks within the 2 years will not be an easy task, considering that Brexit is ultimately an event that's expected to damage global economic confidence and investment. They say it would further hurt Korean exports, which have been plunging for around a year and a half now. Hwang Ji-hye, Arirang News.